Dr. Vethril stood frozen in front of the holographic display, her four eyes blinking in rapid succession. The data streams flowing across the screen made no biological sense. She had studied over 300 species during her career as the lead xenobiologist aboard the Galactic Medical Station Harmony. She had witnessed diseases that could melt bone and viruses that could rewrite genetic code. Nothing in her 70 years of experience had prepared her for what she was seeing now. The human test subject sat calmly on the other side of the observation glass. His name was Marcus Chen, a cargo pilot who had agreed to participate in the study after his ship was rescued by a consortium patrol vessel. He was reading something on a datapad, completely unaware of the panic spreading through the research team. "Run the analysis again," Vethril ordered, her voice trembling slightly. Her assistant, a young karate male named Pelson, pressed his long fingers against the control panel. The machines hummed and clicked. Samples of the human's blood, saliva, and tissue were processed through scanners that could detect particles smaller than atoms. The results appeared on the screen within moments. They were exactly the same as before. "This cannot be accurate," Vethril whispered. "The readings suggest that his immune system has captured the Velthrani plague sample we introduced and is modifying it." Pelson's scales turned pale gray, a sign of extreme distress in his species. "Modifying it how, Doctor?" Vethril enlarged a section of the display. Microscopic images showed human white blood cells surrounding the foreign pathogen. But instead of simply destroying it, as immune cells normally did, these cells appeared to be feeding it genetic information. The plague virus was changing. Its structure was becoming more complex, more aggressive. "His body is making it stronger," Vethril said. "And more specifically, it is making it deadly to non-human biology while leaving his own cells completely unharmed." The implications of this discovery hit her like a physical blow. The Velthrani plague had killed billions across 3 star systems before a cure was developed. If this modified version were to escape containment, no species in the known galaxy would survive. Except humans. Captain Sorelvan arrived at the medical bay 30 minutes later. She was a towering figure even by the standards of her species, the Mandari, who averaged 3 meters in height. Her uniform displayed the marks of someone who had served the Galactic Consortium for over 40 years. She had fought in wars, negotiated peace treaties, and witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. But when Dr. Vethril explained the situation, Sorelvan felt fear for the first time in decades. "You are telling me," the captain said slowly, "that every human is a biological weapon?" Vethril nodded. "Not intentionally, Captain. Their immune systems evolved on a planet with an extraordinary number of hostile microorganisms. Their world is covered in bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites that would kill most consortium species on contact. Humans not only survived this environment but thrived in it." She pulled up historical records on her display. Images appeared of Earth, the human homeworld. Dense jungles filled with predators. Oceans teeming with creatures that could swallow a transport ship whole. Deserts where temperatures could cook flesh and ice fields where even metal would shatter from cold. Their immune systems had to become incredibly adaptive to survive, Vethril continued. When they encounter a new pathogen, their bodies do not simply fight it. They study it, learn from it, and then reshape it into a weapon against potential future threats. This process happens automatically, without any conscious input from the human. Sorelvan stared at the human through the observation window. Marcus Chen had finished reading and was now doing some kind of physical exercise in the confined space, pushing his body up and down using only his arms. Such casual displays of physical capability were common among humans, she had learned. "Does he know what he is capable of?" Sorelvan asked. "Almost certainly not. Humans have only been part of the galactic community for 20 of their years. Their medical science, while impressive, has not yet discovered this particular function of their biology. To them, Their immune systems simply keep them healthy. The captain turned to face the doctor. What happens if we release this information to the Consortium Council? Vethral was silent for a long moment. She knew exactly what would happen. The Consortium had faced existential threats before. Their response was always the same: elimination of the threat at any cost. Entire species have been driven to extinction for far less dangerous characteristics than what humans possessed. They would order the destruction of humanity, she finally said. Every human colony, every human ship, every human individual. The Consortium would view it as a matter of survival. And would they be wrong? The question hung in the air between them. Vethral thought about Marcus Chun, who had spent the last week telling her stories about his family on Earth. His daughter was learning to play a musical instrument. His son wanted to become an explorer. His wife was a teacher who spent her days helping young humans understand the universe. Humans have been living among us for 20 years, Vethral said. They have traveled to hundreds of worlds. They have shared food and drink with dozens of species. They have breathed the same air, touched the same surfaces, exchanged bacteria in countless ways. And yet there have been no outbreaks, Sorelin realized. Exactly. Their immune systems weaponize pathogens, yes, but those modified organisms stay inside their bodies. They do not spread to others unless what? Vethral's 4 eyes met the captain's gaze. Unless the human perceives a genuine threat to their survival. The weaponization process only activates when the body believes it is under attack. In normal circumstances, humans coexist peacefully with other species. Their bodies simply defend themselves without creating new dangers. Sorelin considered this information carefully. She had met many humans during her career. They were curious creatures, always asking questions, always wanting to learn. They formed friendships easily and were fiercely loyal to those they cared about. She had never sensed any malice in them. But she had also seen what they could do when threatened. The incident at Corvin Station was still classified at the highest levels of Consortium security. A group of pirates had attacked the station and taken hostages, including several human children. When the rescue team finally broke through, they found every pirate dead. Not killed by weapons or violence, but by disease. Some kind of rapidly spreading infection that had reduced them to organic matter within hours. The human children were completely unharmed. Medical scans showed their immune systems had experienced a massive spike in activity during the attack, then returned to normal levels once the threat was eliminated. At the time, investigators had assumed the pirates brought some contaminated cargo aboard. Now Sorelin understood the truth. We cannot destroy them, she said finally, and we cannot reveal this information to the council. Vethral looked relieved. What do you propose instead? We study them. Carefully, secretly, and with their cooperation. If we can understand how their immune systems make these modifications, we might be able to develop countermeasures. Ways to protect Consortium species in case a weaponized pathogen ever does escape. You want to use human biology to save the galaxy from human biology? I want to find a solution that does not involve genocide, Sorelin replied sharply. Humans are part of our community now. They contribute to our civilization. They have scientists and artists and philosophers. Their music is performed in concert halls across the Consortium. Their literature is studied in our universities. She looked back at Marcus Chun, who had finished his exercise and was now staring out the observation window. His expression was curious, friendly, completely unaware of the terrible secret his blood contained. They are people, Sorelin said softly. Strange, resilient, sometimes frustrating people. But people nonetheless. The decision was made to bring Marcus into their confidence. It was a risk, but Vethral argued that humans responded better to honesty than deception. They had a cultural tendency to react badly when they discovered they had been lied to. Marcus listened to the explanation with a calm that surprised everyone present. When Vethral finished describing the weaponization process, he simply nodded and asked a single question. So my body turned a deadly plague into something even deadlier? Yes, and this modified plague could kill every non-human in the galaxy? Potentially, yes. Marcus was quiet for a moment. Then he laughed, a sound that made both aliens flinch in surprise. Sorry, he said, still chuckling. I was just thinking about all the times my mother told me I would amount to something special. Never thought it would be as a walking biological hazard. He saw their confused expressions, and his laughter faded. That was a joke. Humans cope with frightening information through humor. It helps us process things. Vethral made a note in her research file. Another fascinating aspect of human psychology to study later. I want to help, Marcus continued. Whatever tests you need to run, whatever samples you need to take, I'm willing. My family is out there among your people. My daughter plays with Karathi children at her school. My son's best friend is a Mendari. If there is any chance my body could hurt them, I need to understand it. Over the following months, the secret research project expanded. More humans were brought in, all volunteers who understood the gravity of the situation. They submitted to countless tests and experiments with remarkable patience. Their blood was analyzed down to the molecular level. Their immune responses were mapped and cataloged. And slowly, the picture became clearer. Human immune systems were not mindless weapons. They were highly sophisticated defense mechanisms that responded to intent. When a human felt safe and welcome, their body maintained a peaceful equilibrium. When they felt threatened, their body prepared for war. The key was emotional state. Humans who were happy, loved, and integrated into their communities posed no danger to anyone. Their weaponized pathogens remained dormant, locked away inside cells that would never release them unless triggered by genuine fear. The solution, Vethral realized, was absurdly simple. Keep humans happy. The classified report she submitted to Captain Sorovan contained a single recommendation. Humans should be welcomed throughout the consortium. They should be given opportunities to form meaningful connections with other species. Their children should be educated alongside alien children. Their cultures should be celebrated and shared. You are suggesting that the best defense against humanity, Sorovan said, reading the report, is to be nice to them? I am suggesting that humanity's greatest weapon is only dangerous when humanity feels endangered. The more they believe we are their friends, the safer we all become. Sorovan thought about the implications. A galaxy where humans were treated as equals, partners, family. Where their strange habits and peculiar customs were accepted rather than feared. Where their capacity for violence remained sleeping because no one gave it a reason to wake. It was either the most brilliant solution in consortium history or the most insane gamble ever attempted. Make sure every species representative receives a copy of this recommendation, she ordered. Classified eyes only. They do not need to know the specific reasons, but they need to understand that human integration is now a priority of the highest order. And so the great experiment began. Across the galaxy, policies shifted. Humans found themselves invited to cultural exchanges and diplomatic events. Human students received scholarships to alien universities. Human artists were commissioned to create works celebrating interspecies cooperation. Most humans simply assumed the galaxy had finally recognized their value. They never suspected they were being systematically befriended as a matter of survival. And that, Dr. Vethral noted in her private journal, was perhaps the strangest thing of all. Humans genuinely wanted to be friends with everyone. They built connections eagerly and maintained them loyally. Their immune systems might be capable of destroying civilizations, but their hearts seemed designed for building them instead. Perhaps the galaxy had not been protecting itself from humanity. Perhaps it had simply learned to let humanity protect it.